Truly, Joram, the son of Ahab, reigned over Israel, in Samaria, in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. And he reigned for 12 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as his father and mother did. For he took away the statues of Baal, which his father had made. Yet truly, he did adhere to the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Israel to sin, neither did he withdraw from these. Now Mesha, the king of Moab, raised many sheep. And he repaid to the king of Israel 100,000 lambs, and 100,000 rams, with their fleece. And when Ahab had died, he transgressed the pact that he had with the king of Israel. Therefore, King Joram departed on that day from Samaria, and he took account of all of Israel. And he sent to Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, saying, The king of Moab was withdrawn from me. Come to battle with me against him. And he responded, I will go up. What is mine, is yours. My people are your people. And my horses are your horses. And he said, Along which way shall we ascend? So he responded, Along the desert of Idumea. Therefore, the king of Israel, and the king of Judah, and the king of Idumea, traveled, and they went by a circuitous path for 7 days. But there was no water for the army or for the beasts of burden which were following them. And the king of Israel said, Alas, alas, alas! The Lord has gathered we 3 kings, so that he might deliver us into the hands of Moab. And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not a prophet of the Lord here, so that we may appeal to the Lord through him? And one of the servants of the king of Israel responded, Elisha, the son of Shaphat, is here, who poured water upon the hands of Elijah. And Jehoshaphat said, The word of the Lord is with him. And so, the king of Israel, with Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, and with the king of Idumea, descended to him. Then Elisha said to the king of Israel, What is there between you and me? Go to the prophets of your father and your mother. And the king of Israel said to him, Why has the Lord gathered these 3 kings, so that he might deliver them into the hands of Moab? And Elisha said to him, As the Lord of hosts lives, in whose sight I stand, if I was not humbled by the face of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, certainly I would neither have listened to you, nor have looked upon you. But now, bring a musician to me. And while the musician was playing, the hand of the Lord fell upon him, and he said, Thus says the Lord, Make, in the channel of this torrent, pit after pit. For thus says the Lord, You shall not see wind or rain. And yet this channel shall be filled with water. And you shall drink, you and your families, and your beasts of burden. And this is small in the sight of the Lord. So, in addition, he will also deliver Moab into your hands. And you shall strike every fortified town and every elect city. And you shall cut down every fruitful tree. And you shall obstruct all the sources of water. And you shall cover every excellent field with stones. Then it happened that, in the morning, when the sacrifices were usually to be offered, behold, water was arriving along the way of Idumea, and the land was filled with water. Then all the Moabites, hearing that the kings had ascended so that they might fight against them, gathered all who had been girded with a belt around them, and they stood at the borders. And rising up in early morning, and when the sun was now rising before the waters, the Moabites saw the waters opposite them, which were red like blood. And they said, It is the blood of the sword. The kings have fought among themselves, and they have slain one another. Go now, Moab, to the spoils. And they went into the camp of Israel. But Israel, rising up, struck Moab, and they fled before them. And since they had prevailed, they went and struck down Moab. And they destroyed the cities. And they filled up every excellent field, each one casting stones. And they obstructed all the sources of water. And they cut down all the fruitful trees, to such an extent that only brick walls remained. And the city was encircled by the slingers of stones. And a great part of it was struck down. And when the king of Moab had seen this, specifically, that the enemies had prevailed, he took with him 700 men who draw the sword, so that he might break through to the king of Idumea. But they were unable. And taking his firstborn son, who would have reigned in his place, he offered him as a holocaust upon the wall. And there was great indignation in Israel. And they promptly withdrew from him, and they turned back to their own land.